Hey, movie fans. Welcome to a new show by the Does It Hold Up crew. I'm Adam.
And I'm Emily.
And in this series, which you can still find under the Does It Hold Up podcast, is going to be all about sequels and reboots. So in our main show, we talk about movies, old movies, and we decide if they still hold up to today's standards. Well, if they don't hold up, if that's what we decide on, we're going to pitch you a reboot and how we can make it hold up. If they do hold up, though, we want to talk about sequels because obviously we liked that world and we probably want more from it. So last Friday, go back, listen to that episode before this episode, no cheating. Last Friday, we talked about 1985's Tim Curry starring Clue.
Yes.
Great movie.
Oh, wonderful.
Great, weird little black comedy. All good. We sing its praises, but we also had some problems with it. So make sure, again, go watch the other episode. Listen to it, not watch. And then, because it held up, we are each going to pitch you a sequel.
Yes.
That we would like to see. Then, when you're done listening to this, hop on over on Twitter, follow us at DoesItHoldUp13, let us know what you thought about each of our sequel ideas, which one you like more, which one
Totally
you want to
mine.
see. Yes, totally hers. And pitch us your own sequel. We'd love to hear what you guys think. All right, so she's going to start us off. Save the best for last.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and start us off. What is your sequel to the black comedy Clue from 1985?
My sequel deals directly with ending C. And if you don't remember all the endings, I know it's a little crazy to remember which ones are which, but it's the final ending in which everyone had a hand in a murder except for Mr. Green. In fact, Wadsworth, who Tim Curry plays, is actually the real Mr. Bodie and Body. Oh my god, I don't know why I always say Bodie. The real Mr. Body, and the Mr. Body that they killed happens to be his butler. That is the main crux of my sequel. It is the child of Mr. Body being absolutely pissed that...
So pissed.
Peeved, even.
Oh, he's peeved. I don't even know if I can handle... This is rated R. He's peeved.
I know.
Okay.
I know. So he's angry at everything that happened, why his father died, for absolutely nothing, for doing his job. So he takes it upon himself to find people just like those who murdered his father and collect them and basically do to them what they did to his father.
Wait, hold on. Collect them?
Invite them to another soiree.
Oh, okay. I was like, are they baseball cards? Are they valuable? He collects them?
He's a collector of people.
Or is he like a weird serial killer who has to collect pieces of them?
I mean...
I don't know. Okay.
So basically he goes around, starts picking them off in the same vein of Clue, mainly because he's not very good at what he does. He hasn't, planned everything out. It's more so, he's planned a bit of it, but not all of it.
He got them there.
He got them there, and then once he saw how treacherous they really are.
So, okay, what do you mean people like the people who killed his father?
Basically, they have the same idea of, they're doing the same bad things that
sharing
originals.
Government secrets?
Yes. Almost running a brothel, killing your past husbands, that sort of thing.
So they're kind of in that same vein of
Yes.
Okay.
Basically...
But instead of blackmail, he decides that he needs to kill them?
Yeah, because he thinks everyone didn't get enough of a sentence the first time around, and since he can't really get all of them, since, some of them have since died.
So he's a psychopath.
Yes.
Who's not even taking revenge on people who had a hand in his father's murder. He's taking revenge on people who remind him of those people.
I mean, for all we know, he killed the people that were from the original one, and he's just done this over and over and over again, just constantly finding these people. Yeah.
This got dark. Okay.
I mean, it is a dark comedy.
This is. I don't even hear the comedy in this. This is just dark.
Well, he's
just killing random people because his father died.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's okay. Psychopath. Got it.
But he makes them all take the same names and everything. Like, he's
So he's just
methodical.
obsessed with that night.
Yes.
Wow.
I mean, it's the night that killed his father for doing his job.
Get over it.
No.
Grow up.
No, they all must suffer.
Your father probably wasn't innocent. Right? He had something to do. I don't know. He had something to do with it. I just haven't figured it out yet. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it seems like you're kind of bypassing the comedy a little bit, other than, like, maybe he kills them in funny ways or something weird.
Yeah, because in my head, they definitely go for the, like, we don't know who's killing people, obviously. It's that whole murder mystery part. But it is the same vein of, like, someone dies in the dark and, oh no, we're gonna run over here, try to figure out what happened. Similar in that sort of comedy, because the original Clue was, kind of dark because people were dying. The comedy only really came from their little witticisms.
Came from everything. The movie's hilarious.
I know. So
even the way people die is funny.
So it's that sort of humor, so I think it could work.
Okay.
It's definitely darker, but
okay, it's,
the world is darker now.
And I get it. My issue I'm having currently is it seems like a very loose connection to the first one, because it's just this one person who's upset his father died murders a bunch of new people
in similar ways, with similar weapons.
Okay.
At the same house.
I mean, I'd watch it. I watch everything. I'd watch it. Who do you got in mind? Do you have any actors, actresses, anybody in mind for these roles? I
do, and some of them are way out there, maybe because I wasn't, like, super highly focused on, ages. But for Mrs. Peacock, I have a Jamie Lee Curtis. I think she can be kooky enough to do it.
Okay.
Mrs. White, I have Charlize Theron.
Okay.
Because she has to be a Black Widow. Miss Scarlet, I have either Margot Robbie or Anne Hathaway. I think either one could kind of be that femme fatale.
Nah, I gotta pick one. Who's your cast?
I guess Margot Robbie.
Okay.
The maid I have, I would probably put as Samara Weaving. Simply because then you can have funny jokes about them being, like, the same person.
Okay.
I have Wadsworth as a Mark Ruffalo, though I have a giant question mark right next to it because I'm like, I don't know if he could do the goofy.
Okay.
Colonel Mustard, I have my favorite, Nathan Fillion, as always. And Professor Plum, I have as Bill Hader. Just throwing that name out there. I think he can be goofy and dark enough for this.
Can he be pervy enough, though? I mean, are they supposed to be, like, similar in vein?
Yes.
Like, so,
dude,
Professor Plum is supposed to be a pervy dude.
Yes.
And Miss Scarlet's gonna be like a brothel lady.
Yes.
In yours.
Yeah.
Miss Peacock can be kooky old woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're just literally recasting.
Pretty
the
much.
same roles. Okay.
But obviously not the same people, but in the same vein.
Sure.
His whole thing is these grim people around.
I got it.
And then we have Mr. Green as a Dylan O'Brien, if they can kind of age him up a little bit.
I don't love that one. I'm with you.
I kind of figured
you
wouldn't. I just love him, and, like, this is the one where I'm like, I didn't think about the age enough.
Yeah,
he's a little young.
Yeah, he's a little young. I mean,
to
this
be that child.
37.
This is the one I want to be.
Unless you're
the child of Mr. Body.
You could always date it. It doesn't have to be modern, as in, like, happens in 2022.
True.
You could be like, it happened in 2008. You don't know.
That's true.
Okay. I like your pitch. I like your pitch. Seems more like a reboot, though. If we're gonna, like, hit kind of the same stuff again, and we're recasting exact same roles in the same vein, seems almost like a reboot more than a sequel.
I mean, have you seen Star Wars?
Yeah, but that wasn't like
Force Awakens.
It wasn't like Rey was given the name Luke and did exactly Luke stuff. She didn't grow up in the same way. She didn't have the same secrets.
But those names weren't their actual names, so that's how you get away with it. I think not having those names in there is not as
but it's not the names that bother me. It's the idea that they have the same secrets and then get the same name. So, like, your Miss Scarlet runs a brothel just like the original Miss Scarlet. You're basically
it doesn't have to be exact. I just mean it's people of the same vein.
It's a little stretch. I'll take it. I accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Just seems a little more like you want to reboot the movie more than
No.
sequel it. Okay. All right. That's fine.
Uh-huh.
All right. My turn. Here comes the good pitch.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
The good one here.
You can just turn it off now.
It's fine. All right. So, in my sequel, what we were supposed to be making here.
Uh-huh. Mine's a legit sequel.
Mm-hmm. So, in mine, these were all high-powered people in 1985 when this movie came out. They all work for the government in some way or cater to the government. So, are they really going away for that long?
Yes.
They murdered a few, like a maid and a guy, a driver.
Still murder.
Yeah, they're still not going away for a long time.
The FBI cracked in on them. Yes, they're going away.
Now they'll cut deals. It'll be fine. So in my sequel, they're out of prison in like 15 years. 10, 15 years. Right? Like somewhere in that range. And then they all go on to have families. They all go to like start families, start a new career, blah, blah, blah. But Mr. Green, who's the FBI agent, because I'm also going off of ending C, Mr. Green's keeping an eye on all of them. He's senior class FBI now. Like, he sits behind a desk. He doesn't do grunt work anymore. Like, he's head. He's up there. But he keeps an eye on all of them because he knows maybe they're still up to something weird. And to go through everything he went through in the first movie, he's still a little traumatized and just he wants to keep an eye on them. And they all go about doing their things. And then one day, Mrs. Peacock's kid, who's, probably 40 now in my sequel, puts together all the kids from all of the other people. Miss Scarlet's kids, Professor Plum's kids. I might even have, Plum and Miss Scarlet have kids together. Maybe they're together now. Who knows?
Oh, gosh.
But he puts together all their kids because he knows his mom, Miss Peacock, is still doing dirty work. She still has secrets. She looks spiffy clean on the outside, but she's still dirty behind the scenes.
Okay.
And he doesn't like it. He's like, Mom, you went to prison already. Like, what are you doing? So he starts reaching out to everybody else, and he's like, do you think your parents... So they form a little group to figure out the actual secrets, the new secrets of their parents. Well, Mr. Green's been watching this whole time. And he sees this group of kids come together, and he thinks, oh, God, they're up to no good. Young 20, 30-year-old kids, and they're from people who are evil, who are mean, who went to jail. So they're doing something evil. And so he starts trying to track them down. Well, at the same time, they're trying to expose their parents' secrets and take them down. And then we get a bunch of hilarious gags. When Mr. Green realizes that the kids are also trying to take down the parents, they work together to take them down. So they start dropping little clues like sending them presents. And the presents are the gifts that they got from the original clue. They drop in little notes. They wear a maid outfit. One of the daughters wears a maid outfit when she's visiting her parents' house. Like, you get these little nods and subtle things. But you also get the original cast, those of whom are still with us. Unfortunately, we have lost one. But we get them reprising their exact roles in cameos. They're not the main focus. It's the kid's story now. And even Mr. Green, all cameos. And that's my sequel. They come together to take them all down and send them right back to prison because they're still up to no good.
See, it doesn't feel like it would be a successor to Clue.
Why not?
I don't think you can keep that same level of humor and wackiness that made Clue wonderful.
Have you ever seen Catch That Kid on the old Disney movie and stuff?
It's
that's
not
that kind of comedy.
That comedy at all.
But this one is. This one doesn't have to be an exact black comedy. I just think
those kind of comedies only really work well when you're in a singular setting with a singular day. Nah. I think going over time and over...
Well, who says it has to be over time? Maybe it takes place over the course of a day or two. Where they're all trying to take each other down. That is a lot
of work to do in one day. Yes.
Is it?
If you want to have all these little side quests.
Maybe they've been prepping it for a year, and we just kind of get a montage at the beginning of them. We get a montage of them getting it all together, and then the bulk of the movie takes place over 2 days when it all comes together.
My major question, too, is how did they find out about this? And, how did they find each other?
People talk, internet.
And they all happen to have kids?
Maybe they don't all have kids.
It's one of those.
Maybe we don't. You know what? Miss White. Unfortunately, we lost the actress who played Miss White, so she doesn't have kids. She's out.
Okay.
So we don't have kids there.
No, that's just my worry. Is like it doesn't feel like a almost spiritual successor.
You can turn it into a black comedy pretty quick.
Okay. I'll trust your vision on that.
It doesn't have to be like, we're goofy.
They weren't like that in the original.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Either.
Like you're trying to come at my sequel like it's gonna be a goofy comedy. No, it's about kids finding all the dark secrets of their parents and taking them down by freaking them out with comments and actions from that fateful night that they all got arrested.
Mind you,
that's black comedy to me.
The word kids, it might be what is kicking in my head
the
because
children.
It's
the children.
Because they're not actually kids anymore.
They're all like
in their
late 20s,
30s
early
or
30s.
40s.
Yeah, exactly. All late 20s, early 30s. I'm just calling them kids because it is their kids.
Yeah.
You know,
but when as soon as you put kids in my head, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a Disney Channel original movie.
They're children. And then you just get great cameos from like the original cast. The only person that you can't bring back is Tim Curry, because he actually dies in Clue. Spoilers. He dies in the original Clue, so like he's not a part of this. So it's just Miss Scarlet, Plum, Mustard, Peacock. They're kids.
Okay.
They're children. And then Mr. Green gets to kind of like be on the outskirts, kind of overseeing everything. So we get some great comedic moments of him trying to be like, what are these kids doing? You know, old man yells at cloud kind of stuff. And then he ends up joining them and giving them the tools or helping them. Maybe he's the one that helps leak the information to them to get them to take down their parents again.
Could be. I can see it. Do you have any cast in mind?
So I love Josh Hartnett. He's like one of my favorites of all time, and he definitely needs to be in more thing. So I feel like he needs to be Mustard's kid.
Okay.
Kind of more of like the stoic army type guy, you know. So Josh Hartnett there. I love Samara Weaving, so let's make her Miss Scarlet's child.
Okay.
Because I think she's just fantastic in a lot of things too. Again, very underrated. I'm not really up on like some of the younger people.
Well,
so
these don't have to be all that younger.
No,
they need to be in their 30s, 40s.
But even then, it's like, who do you pick? You know, I'd want to kind of go outside the box and maybe get some fresh faces. Maybe, you know, Professor Plum never had a kid of himself, but he adopted one. So, like, Justice Smith gets to come in and do something. Mr. Green adopted a kid. Mr. Green's kid is Justice Smith.
Okay.
And he gets to, like, not really be a part of the main crew taking him down, but he gets to work with his dad to kind of help do that whole thing. And that's how they're connected. So there's some names in there that I kind of want to drop, but I want to go out and just find, like...
the fresh face.
Who had, like, Daisy Ridley. Who were you before Star Wars? Star Wars made you a household name.
Sure. She wasn't as nobody as they wanted, because
that
whole thing.
Absolutely. Let's not go into that. But yeah, so, like, that kind of fresh face. Like, maybe you've done a few little indie things, but, like, this is going to be your big breakout role. Get a couple of those. And then just Josh Hartnett. Throw him in there. Love him. Throw him in there. I don't even care what he plays. He could be the bus driver in a scene. I don't care. Get him work.
All right, that's fair.
Work. So, yeah, that's my sequel. I think you got to go outside the box a little more. I think if you just repeat beats of Clue, you know, you're not really expanding the story. You're kind of just retelling it.
Yeah, but I think if you don't hit enough beats, especially being a legacy sequel, people will just be like, oh, this is its own thing. It has nothing to do with the movie from before.
I think about, like, Bill and Ted Face the Music, the Legacy sequel that just came out last year. Mm-hmm. It's still just about these two guys, but now it's about their children and how they're the ones going to make music to change the world. But that was originally Bill and Ted's type of thing. But they're not really, like, we see them a lot in the movie, but the main crux isn't like the first two movies at all. One movie they travel through hell, and the other movie they travel through time. And then this one's about how they need to create the best song ever that will bring peace to the world.
But it's still all just about that music.
No, but it's the first two movies aren't about their music. The first two movies they're trying to do a history project for school. The second one they're traveling through, and that's where you get a clue about, like, they're going to write this epic song. but the whole movie doesn't focus around that. It's just like one scene in this movie, and then they turned that one scene into an entire sequel.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I'm going for. It's like you gotta take just a piece of that first one and tell a new story with it.
That was my piece,
But then you put them back in, like, the same house, the same names, the same... Come on.
I think yours is just too far outside the box. It's like... It's definitely getting to be a totally different feel of a movie.
Sure.
It's not even a whodunit anymore.
No, it doesn't have to be.
Then how do you call it Clue?
Because it's related to the events of Clue.
I feel like you're stretching.
It's like Clue 2, Electric Boogaloo. Like, just deal with it. That's what it is. Oh, come on. You're pitching a reboot and you're going to make fun of my sequel? Are you kidding me right now? Fine. That's it. You heard both pitches.
Yes.
So now you need to...
Tell him how his is better.
Go over on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram or find us on Facebook. Everything is at Does It Hold Up, except for Facebook is at Does It Hold Up. Twitter and Instagram are Does It Hold Up 13, and TikTok is Does It Hold Up _ between each word. Because every single one of those platforms, for some reason, Does It Hold Up was already taken in some form, and it all needed to change.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Didn't know this was such a popular concept. Does It Hold Up? But yeah, so go over, follow us on all those things. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you thought about our pitches, which one you liked better. Pitch us your own sequel. Can't wait to hear them.
Because they're probably going to be like 10 times
better. Oh,
they're
going to be so much better than ours. Ours were, woo boy. Yeah, we're going to get better at this. But in the meantime, guys, check out our main channel or our main show. Just at Does It Hold Up? New episodes every Friday. You can expect these sequel reboot shows every Tuesday. So that gives you time. So when you listen to the podcast on Friday, over the weekend, watch the movie so that when you listen to our sequel reboot, you'll know what we're talking about and you can pitch your own.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the meantime, guys, you know the drill. Keep watching movies.
Bye.